Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It is time for just a word from the Word. This morning's passage comes from the book of Luke, chapter 10, and verse 2. And I'm reading from the King James, and here's what it says. Therefore, said he, speaking of Jesus, unto them, the disciples, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he would send forth laborers into his harvest. Jesus' prayer request was that you and I would pray for laborers. As I was praying this morning and thanking the Lord for the workers that God has sent to the church that I attend, and it's a blessing that the Lord has been sending workers. I've been praying for more. But I was reminded of a message that my pastor preached some time back and just felt like it was important to share that with you this morning. We can pray all day long for God to send laborers, and we should. That was Jesus' prayer request to his disciples, and by extension, that's what you and I should pray. That's what the Lord told us to pray. But it comes down to a question of if we're praying for the Lord to send laborers, are you and I willing to be the answer to that prayer? We want somebody else to come in and do the work. We want somebody else to come in and do the outreach and reach people for Jesus and do all the things. But are we willing to put feet to our prayer? Are you and I willing to be the answer to the prayer request that Jesus asked us to pray? And as simple as that is, it's a deep question, because then you've got to begin looking at yourself, looking at your heart, looking at your motivations, looking at your willingness, looking at your unwillingness, looking at your stubbornness, asking yourself the simple question, but the hard one. Am I willing to go out and reach? Am I willing to go out and do the work? When Jesus fed the 5,000, he had crowds that followed him over and over and over. But then it came a point in time when Jesus was teaching some hard things and people started leaving. People started walking away. And Jesus was like, they just wanted the good stuff. They didn't want to deal with the hard stuff. I'm talking to the saints this morning. And saints, this morning, this is your just a word from the Word. Don't pray for the Lord to send laborers if you're not willing to be the answer to that prayer request. Don't pray for the Lord to send workers if you yourself are not willing to work. Don't pray for God to send wonderful ministries if you're not willing to use the ministry that God has given to you. Saints, you are the answer to Jesus' prayer request. And so I will say this again. This morning's just a word from the Word is, are you willing to go? I know, it's rough stuff smack dab in the middle of the week, isn't it? But it's an important question. Are you and I willing to do the work? Or are we willing only to pray so that others can do the work? Be willing to move. Don't ask the Lord to order your steps if you're not willing to follow. Be willing to move. Be the answer to Jesus' prayer request. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. This has been just a word from the Word. Take it, run with it, move forward with it, and have an amazing day. Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow morning.